The last 36 months of my life have been the most trying and brutal 36 months ever. It seems like I would wake up to it, I would go to bed to it. I would wake up to it, I would go to bed to it. Adversity, 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 adversity. I couldn't breathe. There was moments and times I wanted to give up. There was so many things, personally, professionally, spiritually, I was beaten up. I was bruised, I was battered. I wouldn't eat for some days. Like, I couldn't sleep. I would have tears in my eyes, trying to sleep. I would just sit on the couch, literally. Tears would start flowing from my eyes as me and my wife are watching TV. Because I just broke, man. There will be a point in time in your life when you just break. That's called adversity. But I didn't stay broken. I chose to get up and break some freaking records. Because adversity will cause you to want to break or want to break some records. It's because I woke up with the right attitude. I woke up with the right mentality. My feet were on solid ground. I never lost my faith. I never questioned God. Wanted to question God when I felt like I was called to give up everything that I knew, loved, and had, and moved to St. Louis. Wanted to give up on God. Wanted to say, God, why? When I felt it in my heart, spirit, and soul, that this is what I had to do, needed to do, wanted to do. And then 2 days after I accept the promotion, sign the contract, I find out that my wife's pregnant. We were trying to have a son, have a baby for 2 years. Find out miraculously the day after I signed the contract, we find out that she's pregnant. We're both scared crapless, little kids, first baby. Now we got to raise a kid away from St. Louis. See, listen, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards, Steve Jobs said. I'm going to tell you this right now. If I wasn't in St. Louis, if I didn't go through what I had to go through, there wouldn't be the lives impacted and touched that there is right now. There wouldn't be families protected and agents' lives changed if God didn't bring me there for a season to make a powerful impact that'll last an eternity. In the middle of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. I'm going broke. I'm investing every dollar that I had into this office, pouring everything that I have. And then I decided to take a step back and hand the SGA contract over to my mentors, because I felt that the office would be in better hands because the adversity, because the things that were going on in my personal life, I felt that my family needed to be home closer to their family. So then I moved back to Cleveland, ready and fired up to go back to my office, to go back to my stomping grounds, ready to go back to normal. How many of you just want to go back to normal? How many of you just wish things were the same? Well, maybe God's not calling you to the old normal. Maybe he's calling you to a new normal. So see, God called me to a new normal. I joined the brokerage world. Had no idea what I was doing. I was just going and moving and acting on faith. And sometimes that's all that you can do. Listen to your gut. Your gut's seldom wrong. See, in my belief, my gut is God. God's speaking to me sometimes through my gut. Nick, don't go there, go here. Nick, speak to this person. Nick, do this, don't do that. So I spent the last 10 months as a broker impacting lives there, changing lives nationally, to find myself back to the company that changed my life initially, but with a completely different territory that I never thought in a million years I would ever be. So I say that because if I did not experience adversity, I would not be talking to South Bend, Indiana, and Troy, Michigan right now. If I didn't experience adversity, I would have never started with American Income Life. That's a whole different story. I'm just giving you the most recent story. Y'all, it was Les Brown that said either you're going towards a storm, you're currently in a storm, or you just exited one. The storm's not the problem. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond. You have to get better at preparing for your day. You got to get better at preparing for war. Life is a battlefield. Just like, I think it was Annie that said, Rocky, it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Have faith that you are where you're at for a reason. Don't give up. Don't give in. Not dead, can't quit. That's an old school one. Not dead, can't quit. Sometimes you just gotta, I'm not dead. Well, this didn't kill me. And if it don't kill you, it only what?
Make you stronger.
Bingo.
Makes you stronger.
Wait for Mickey to sing it.
Come on. So what I'm telling you is this. I think Zach said it perfectly today in his Instagram story where he says, life isn't about performing under sunshine and rainbows. It's about finding a way to perform in the midst of the storm. Y'all, I'm going to tell you this right now. 80% of the time, you're not going to feel right. 80% of the time, you're going to have adversity. 80% of the time, something's going to be a little off. We will only, and listen, living in Michigan and living in Cleveland, Ohio, I think y'all can feel me that we get good weather 2 out of every 10 days. It's gloomy, rainy, and cold right now, but I'm used to it. I choose to live in the Midwest because it makes me harder. It makes me stronger. So mentally, I could still write business on the days. I could still make it happen. I could still lead, recruit, mentor, and train in the midst of all the crap that goes on because I prepared myself for it. So I think you need to take a stake and put it in the ground right now and draw a line in the sand and say that, you know what? Today becomes a new, better, and more polished me. I'm going to prepare for life's battles. I'm not going to get beat up. How many of you have ever been in a fight and you just got whooped? It's okay. Like someone just cracked you one. Sharon's like, no, man, not me.
Never got whooped.
Okay. Well, sometimes I think, if we get whooped once in a while, that's a good lesson that we can learn because you are unprepared for the fight. Whether it's physically, mentally, or whatever. I'm going to tell you something. I got whooped in the last 36 months. I got whooped. Life brought me to my knees mentally. But I can tell you this, that I'm still standing. I can tell you this, that I've learned lessons that are going to make me one of the most dynamic leaders in history. And I truly, wholeheartedly believe that. Not because of my strengths. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it wasn't our strengths that make us strong. It's our weaknesses that we chose to become and turn into strengths. So it's all the adversity that you go through right now, that you're going through, or that you've been through. That's what's building the character that's going to keep you at the top. They say talent and hard work takes you to the top. Character keeps you there.